I always looked at people that were fit, that loved going to the gym, and just thought that that wasn't me. I basically created my identity on being a party girl, drinking, smoking, having hangovers, and being the fun person. But what changed for me is when I started coaching.
Hi, my name is Courtney Swissman, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm born and raised in Canada. I have 4 sisters and a brother. Family means so much to me, and it was always something that left me with the feeling of knowing that I wanted to be a mom. Growing up, I was always a risk taker, a rule breaker. When I went to university, it was like I was a kid in a candy shop, first time living away from home, sort of eating all the things and drinking all the things. It was that summer that I started taking party recreational drugs. I loved being the life of the party. I thought that being under the influence and taking drugs and smoking was all part of just who I was. Coming into my 30s was when I met my husband, and I decided to move to Las Vegas, Nevada. We were constantly out at the bars and coming home at 5 a.m. and spending most of our time hungover. Shortly after we got married, we got pregnant. I was terrified. All of a sudden, everything I associated my identity with, I couldn't do anymore. I couldn't smoke, I couldn't do drugs, I couldn't drink, I couldn't go to bars. In replace of that, I started eating. Throughout my first pregnancy, I gained 75 pounds. And when I delivered my first baby, I didn't recognize the body that I was in. Motherhood was my everything, but I still felt that at the core, I was that party girl. And I would look for opportunities. And if we could get a babysitter and go out, I was still engaging in that same sort of toxic behavior. I became pregnant again, and I delivered my son at 235 pounds. I knew that it was time for me to make a serious change. My eldest sister was starting 80-Day Obsession, and we decided to do this program together. For the first 2 weeks before we got started, my coach, Kim Fitzpatrick, was going live every single day talking about the mindset and the commitment, and I felt that she was talking directly to me. Day 1 came and I went all in. No cheats, no treats. I really committed my whole heart to this program. On day 26, we did our phase 1 pictures together. I lost 15 pounds in that first phase. And it was at that moment in my sister's kitchen that she looked at me and she said, "Why don't you coach?" I had never considered that before. I barely knew what a coach was. All I knew was that what I'd seen from Kim, she really added a lot of value to the past 26 days. She'd helped me believe that I could do this. And so it was in that moment I decided, if she can do this, so can I. So I created an Instagram account and people started to follow me. They were recommended to follow my account. And I had a huge moment of panic. It was really in that moment that I was like, I can either delete this account and pretend this never happened or go all in. I just sort of borrowed some confidence from my earlier self and decided that if I was going to do this, I was going to give it my whole heart. From that moment on, I treated this journey like it was my job. I showed up every single day on my Instagram and I was sharing my weight loss journey. I had zero credibility in the fitness space. I didn't even play high school sports. And everyone that was watching me knew that this was something completely out of the realm of my comfort zone. So at the end of 80 days, I lost 35 pounds. I had an incredible transformation and I was really, really proud of that. And I started creating small challenge groups. There was one moment early on in my coaching, I say about a year in, where I considered quitting coaching. And I was at the point where I felt that my warm market had dried up. And I didn't feel I wanted to spend my time connecting with strangers. It was in those moments that I really took a hard look at what coaching is doing in my life. I realized that without coaching, my life would probably slide back into old habits. I realized that so many of the positive changes I'd been making in my life were because I was coaching. And in those moments, I decided to put my big girl pants on. Making new connections became my job, and I've never looked back since.
My entire goal here on this Instagram page is to motivate women to put themselves first and to throw away their excuses. I wake up every single day at 4:45, and I hope to show women that that is possible.
I think over the past 3 years, I've been on what I like to call the coach coaster, a series of ups and downs as I've navigated through this business. And coaching has afforded my family the ability to live bigger and dream bigger. And in fact, last year, my husband was let go from his corporate role just before COVID hit, and coaching became a main source of income for our household. How has my life changed because of Beachbody? Honestly, a complete 360. I used to think that people couldn't change, but that's exactly what I've done. I can change, and that I am worthy of this lifestyle. And for that, I am forever grateful.